Welcome to Wigan News, the show all about news in Wigan. Wigan News. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at NewsWigan.
The headlines on this day of all days.
Headlines.
Springfield man in pen deliberation outburst.
Work.
And Springfield man recovering after werewolf bite.
Give me this. Burn it. My people say you.
A new self-help group has been set up in Everton to help people overcome alien abductions.
Yes, that's right, Jamie. The group has been set up as a proactive response to the alien abductions, which have been happening more and more frequently. Latest figures show over a 200% climb, over 888.
So have you been abducted? And if so, what can you do? Mal Turf has this report.
In a small Wigan hamlet, members of a support group, which boasts a growing membership of 1,500, gather for a secret meeting.
I want you to all know that together we can get through this.
The group that's assembled for this meeting is not struggling with alcohol. They're part of the Stars Have Eyes too, an alien experience and awareness support group catering to those who say they've been abducted by aliens. I caught up with twin sisters Dish and Petrie, who asked not to be named, to learn more about their experiences.
It was a long, tiresome battle, Mal.
What?
It's impacted my life tremendously.
What happened?
Well, Dish here woke up one morning and found me laid out on top of the fridge.
Yeah.
It's true, she was screaming, you know, it's a throwing, you daft prick, and referee and all this, and you're offside, and we don't even watch football, you know, we've never even been to a game, we've lived quite a sheltered life.
Sheltered life?
Yeah.
Sheltered.
Is that what you call them, a game, a football game?
Well, most people will call it a match.
A match.
So, Petrie, what happened?
Well, I thought I was being fingered by a cow, Mal.
More.
It's true, she did. It's true, she did.
Cow.
1 minute, I'm asleep. The next day I opened my eyes and I saw this gaping white light. Well, it blinded me, Mal.
Yeah. More.
Anyway.
When it's more.
Then I heard this voice. It said, "Man, oh man, get stuck in." Well, eventually I settled my eyes, looked around and I saw this enormous grey figure approaching.
Yeah.
At first I thought it was just my brother, you know, he's always escaping from that prison.
Yeah.
But then I noticed it had no eyes and it smelt of animal fat. Anyway, I then saw this cow slid out of its anus and I felt an udder go where an udder shouldn't go. Well, at first it was quite pleasurable, but then after an hour I got a bit tired, you know, and I ended up throwing up all over its face. Now, that's when it became quite irate. It picked me up and laid me out on top of the fridge.
Yeah.
It's a 6 foot drop on the top of that fridge, Mal.
She hates heights.
You-
That's why we're here.
You're here because she hates heights.
Oh yeah, she's got vertigo, she can't stand heights. She's not bothered about this alien thing at all, just the heights,
The
isn't
heights.
it?
Well, the thing is, Mal,
More.
I've always wanted to go to the Blackpool Tower.
The group was certainly helping one another, but what happened when you were fully recovered? Did you return to your everyday life? It was time for me to leave the club and to do some digging. I mean digging.
The aliens are coming, welcome to our club. They don't have any eyes, they've pilfered all our grub. They're from the planet Zeus, they haven't been set loose. No, you've got
One man whose life is back on track after he went off the rails is Terry Fern. Terry, who believes that he was kept prisoner on an alien ship for 4,000 years, quit his job at Lloyd's before jumping headfirst into the Liverpool-Leeds Canal. Fortunately for Terry, the canal was frozen and he escaped with a torn shirt and a dead leg. Terry says he's made a full recovery.
I've made a full recovery.
But why are you wearing a paper mask on your face?
For a laugh. No, it's because aliens hate paper, right? And what they hate even more are paper cuts. So if they try and rub my face off again, they're going to have to use scissors. And they can't use scissors because their hands are floppy and they melt. So they'd have to get an animal to help them. But they can't do that either because I've got this horn, and this horn, when blown, tells all the animals in the world to play dead.
So you thought of everything, huh?
No, it's impossible to think of everything. Impossible. And these ETs, these can think of things that you would never dream of. Because they've got brains that are the size of 4 houses and they live in 8 dimensions at once.
So, what happened to you? When did it first start?
I just disappeared one day. I was sat down having a drink of tea. I just disappeared.
You just disappeared?
Yeah.
I don't want to come across as unsympathetic, but I'm not buying any of this.
What can you buy? Food?
And now it's time for our resident GP Marc Studd, who will be answering some of your questions. Have you got any problems at the minute, Martin?
Yes, what to get you for your birthday?
Hello, I'm Dr. Marc Studd. I know what some of you are thinking. Yes, and that was me coming out of Crown Court, holding this ring binder to my face so you couldn't see me. But anyway, just for the record, the drugs I administered in South Africa are perfectly legal and all charges were acquitted. Anyway, I'm here to help you all problems, so I've got a hat full of letters. I'm going to pick one out at random. Here we go, and the first one is from Walt Christie, who lives in Pemberton, Wigan. Dr. Marc Studd, that's me. I was antique shopping for tall boys with my lady wife Clara last week when I was hit by a sensation on my right hand side. I collapsed to the floor with deep, strangely pleasurable groans, and that's when I had my hallucination. A bright light and music much like that of late ABBA. This lasted a few moments and then it faded. I was left drained and ashamed. I want to know, was I hallucinating heaven, or could it have been I was living heaven? Or could it have just been the cancer again? Well, that was Walt Christie of Pemberton. Well, to me it does sound like you've got a case of the Seagal syndrome there. Back when Steven Seagal was filming in '95, he broke down into this big heap of tears and satisfaction. And it does sound like you're suffering similar afflictions there. So, anyway, the next letter, or it could just be the cancer. Or the next letter, it's Dr. Marc Studd, that's me. Jane Gaskell, up Holland. She's got very bad aching legs in the morning, no obvious cause. She also complains about queuing for Michael Ball tickets, but that's irrelevant. That I would recommend double amputation immediately. Yeah, it's harsh, but it's effective. Yeah. Anyway, that's all we've got time for at the moment, I'm afraid. So, see you later. Well, remember, stay reasonably healthy, okay?
And now it's time for some local news from our reporter, Cliff. Take off from the cliff, Cliff.
The rumours are true. Wigan is to stage a memorial concert for the late Michael Winner next month. The acts are being kept a closely guarded secret, but the bill is believed to feature a stunning Diamond Neil tribute and 2 separate Cher impersonators, due to an admin error. Winner visited Wigan once in 1986, when he quickly consumed a cheese pasty and a Kit Kat in the bus station toilets. A much-missed legend. Wigan Indoor Market is set to play host to a celebrity butcher's stall for 1 day a month from April. Planned treats include Annie Lennox's liver, Julian Assange's stomach and Mick Jagger's sausage. And finally, highways engineers in Hindley were forced to halt planned roadworks last week when what was believed to be a partially preserved Spitfire was unearthed under the tarmac. Traffic chaos ensued as the road was cordoned off for 72 hours, but tests later discovered the find was simply the remains of a pensioner's weird collection of old tins.
Okay, so what happens when you put an atheist, a Christian and a conspiracy theorist in the same room? Who knows? Find out with me, Neutral Dan, later tonight.
Today we witnessed the accumulation of a true blue rags to riches story. You know, nothing imbues a sense of civic pride in a town like the return of a hometown hero. Well, today one legend took time out of his punishing schedule to be here today on his old stomping ground. The irrepressible Lionel Shader returns here for a little bit of a tour of his Wigan roots. And I'm pleased to say that Lionel's here today. Lionel, it's great to see you. How does it feel to be in your hometown?
Yeah, it's fantastic to be back here in Wigan once again. You know, I've been here all morning, and you know, the whole time it's just been a big nostalgia trip for me. Really, yeah.
I mean, it's been such a long journey for you.
It has. I mean, especially with the regionals. You know, breaking my wrist in the summer, and also the return to competitive standard. You know, it's been some of my biggest challenges to date. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
You should be so rightly proud of your silver medal. But I was just wondering if you had any advice for myself or any other ambitious newcomers. What is your strategy? What spurs you on?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose what spurred me on really was to always pick to the best possible outcome, and I don't mean writing your victory speech before you start training.
Fantastic. And you know, you so nearly won the gold medal, and I'm just wondering maybe next year you could actually come back and maybe return with the gold medal and give us a story of the day. And
Hello.
Hello.
Can I get your autograph?
Yeah, sure. Have you got a pen and paper?
Oh, you know, Ian Smith there, you can write it on that.
Yeah. Maybe in a minute.
Okay. Hey, we're filming here. It's okay. You've had 5 minutes. Go and go to Greg's or something. This is TV land, okay? Now then, what we're doing, thank you very much. So, what we're doing today here is, with Lionel, I've actually got a little gift here. This is his...
what is it?
Well, this actually tells a story of his earlier days. I do hope that you appreciate this gift.
Yes.
This is his winning entry from the 2001 Junior Regionals. There you go, I hope you appreciate that.
Yeah.
You can see he's very popular around this town.
I mean, it's amazing to see this again, you know, it's fantastic. Oh, thank you very much.
Hey, never forget your local roots, Lionel.
I won't, you know, especially not now. Thank you, Wigan.
Well, we'll all be cheering Lionel on as he vies for the 2013 Colouring in Nationals. But from now, we wish you the best of luck. Mike Callat's Wigan News.
Thank you all.
If evolution exists, why haven't you found the missing link? It's like science saying, hey, well, give us one free miracle, and we'll solve the world for you.
Well, isn't it a
what
miracle
they don't know
because
is that God created the world.
Well, there is evidence for evolution, you know, in you know the
what evidence?
plant life,
what plant life?
and in animals, and also the similarity. Yeah, could do this all day. Let me get my fucking point out. Right?
Immature.
Yeah. So you know the fact that apes and humans say share a 98% genetic similarity.
Yeah, and how do you know that?
Well, it is a fact. It's
it's a fact, but who told you that? I mean, do you, am I sitting next to a scientist?
Well, you sitting next to a follower of science. Yes, you are.
Oh, so you know about DNA and you've done all that research, have you?
Out of interest, yes, I am.
Maybe you could tell us what field of science that you are studying at the
Yeah, I'd
moment.
like to know that, yeah.
It's a false dichotomy, and what I mean by that is that if you don't believe what religion's telling you, then you have to believe in science, and that in itself is a kind of a dogma, if you will.
That is a dogma.
Yeah, sure, because just the fact that you're calling yourself an atheist means that you have a kind of a belief system, a label.
A simple belief in the lack of a deity.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you can put it
can
like
I
that.
put in?
Well, no.
It's still a belief.
Well, exactly.
It is a belief, yes, it is. But there is no dogma attached to it.
Well, there's no dogs
if I
around
stop you
religion.
there, you only
There are
have
no
to turn
dogs
on,
in the Bible.
Well, no, you only have to turn on the TV to see, you know, a comedian.
I think there's a cat.
An atheist comedian talking about materialist matters. You know, figureheads, Richard Dawkins, Christopher Hitchens, you know, Brian Cox. Well, the BBC can't get him off the bloody box. And
So, there you have it. Part 1 of the debate Wigan News. Part 2 will be coming up next show. Ta.
oh, Jaffa cakes. I can't eat orange. Yeah, rich tea.
It's bloody freezing here. Oh, what's it like where you are?
Yes, well, let's both find out, shall we? As we say now, it's
Time
for
the
weather.
with Tom.
I've got an idea, we're going to stick a science degree thing on the wall.
Fantastic. Have you seen Tom with the weather? Because he's not in today and
Tom.
we're kind of running behind schedule, so
Tom's
neither of us are qualified.
no. Tom's not around, is he? He's in
Right,
Sheffield.
tell Tom. We told him yesterday he was late. Tell him not to bother coming in work, okay?
What has he got?
Tell him not to
Holiday?
bother.
Oh, I get it. He's
Yeah, just
he's gone.
you let him know because I don't want to deal with him anymore.
Well, I can't say, you know, he's been coming in at doing.
It's not on.
Oi! Careful! I wouldn't do that, you might regret it.
Cha, what are you going to do? Arrest me?
Well, yes. A Wigan man has been arrested and released on bail after bumping into another man in Wigan town centre.
Political correctness gone mad? Finch has more.
When James Ness woke up this morning, he didn't expect to be adding a police caution to his CV, but now he has to, because he has a police caution, and they make you put that on your CV.
So I'm walking in town trying to find some candles for my dog's birthday party. You know, he's got a cake. It's his birthday, and I felt something in my eye, and that's when I trip up and fall into this grid.
When did the bump take place?
Well, it was in between tripping up slightly and me falling in the grid.
How do you feel?
Horrible. It's like, you know, I've already, like, my reputation's besmirched. I'm already unemployed as it is. You know, I couldn't really get any lower than this.
Well, you could have fallen down the grid.
That's not funny, is it?
Is this really happening, or has some idiot made it up? I called the police.
Hello, police? Yeah, I'm with James Ness. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
They told me never to ring again.
A petty crime, if you ask me, and no one did. And yet, they still sent me here to report on it. Morning. But maybe that's the point. Maybe they're trying to stop me from thinking about what's really going on. You know, the Aborigines don't have a word for today or tomorrow. They live in the now. And maybe that's what I should do from now on. Live in the now, not become an Aborigine. unfortunately that's all we've got time for today. I'm sorry, mate, I really am.
It's fine. Everything ends. This is the way the show ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper.